Oh, look at us. One minute early? Like, this is,
Won't even see it coming.
this is unreal. This is unreal. Breaking records. Breaking records. I hope we're live. Are we live?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I haven't checked.
Good.
Sweet. On time for once. Just once.
Yes.
Don't think of this as a habit, guys. No, don't get too comfortable.
We've been on time, for a while now. It's been a while since we've been actually late.
Proper late. Yeah.
We're pretty good about it now. Hello, everyone.
Wow.
All you early birds. Got worms for you. That's what it looks like when I give you all worms. I don't know why.
Worms, dollars.
It's all the same, man. It's all the same.
Hope everyone is doing pretty good. I'm gonna turn on a light because it's gonna get dark because that's how nature works.
What? No. It's not how that works.
I don't have my lamp. I had to move my lamp, but I haven't reset it back up anywhere. So I'm gonna get darker and darker. It's more than usual, but
All I hear is you're gonna get sexier and sexier.
The dark side. The dark side.
That's why you wear button-ups on the shirt on the stream. Fantastic. Very hazy. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub.
Thank you.
So everyone, hello. Welcome to this week's episode of Top Clack. We got a pretty nice, tasty, juicy news doc for you. A lot of interesting things happening. We do not have a guest, however, so we apologize for that if that's why you were here. But alas, Top Clack must go on, and we got some good stuff.
Give me a hot tease of what we're gonna be talking about today. Just a tease. Oof.
There's people outside my window. I don't know if that actually got picked up. We're gonna be talking about some equivalent exchange. Talking about some nerds and some music theory, as well as some PBT die sub action and split ergonomic goodness, nice. And much more.
Awesome. Also, what's also awesome is Olivia for 12 months in a row with that tier 1 sub. Thank you so much, Olivia. And with that, let's get this intro. Thanks, Donut, for that Twitch Prime sub. Hope everyone is doing real good today. Today's Thursday. It's a day for Top Clack, and thanks for Gio for gifting that tier 1 to Midori.
Heck yeah.
Oof.
Heck
Nathan's resub did not show. Rip. Thanks, Nathan. Thanks, buddy.
We love you anyways, Nathan.
Thanks, buddy.
Sometimes Twitch just likes to mess you up.
Yeah. How's your week been? How's your week been, buddy?
Mine has been pretty hectic, but pretty good overall. I've been doing a lot of cleaning and organizing and selling a bunch of random crap to try to make room for, less random crap, hopefully. So I've been working on that. Been doing some Top Clack work as well, and some bid, taking some pics, and learning some things as I go. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Actually, I realized I do have another light I can actually turn on now. It'll make me... Right, there we go. My week's been alright. Pretty busy with work, just hashtag middle management drama things come on, people. Every Friday, we're gonna clear out the fridge. Please don't complain when we throw something away. No, things like that.
Oh, man. I've had that exact same conversation at my work.
You finish the coffee pot and make a new one.
It's weird.
A homie 408, Rick Cubed, and Polyzu, thank you guys so much for all of those Twitch primes. Thank you.
Yeah, must be that.
Thank you. Yeah, you know what? It's also that time of the episode where we move on to the mail call. Because we got some mail. I got some mail. I think you got some mail. Let's have you start us
Not
off.
nearly as epic as your. Yeah, well, I'll go first.
I think it's I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Actually, wait.
I don't know what those noises are, but yeah.
I actually got two things in. So I got the acrylic tofu case, which is just the straightened out version, but still pretty interesting there, pretty nice. Nice high profile design there.
I like it.
It's pretty good.
Brian,
there are some minor imperfections.
Is that an RGs and Bs PCB?
Of course.
Plug her in, boy.
Oh my gosh! All right.
Lunar Sama, thank you so much for that sub. Tier 1, 6 months in a row. I like it.
It's gonna look awful on camera.
Ooh, no, it's gonna be like it's way overexposed because your lighting situation. But I got you.
Get the lighting right.
I got you.
But yeah, no, there's most certainly some R's, G's, and B's there. So I've been playing around with this. Pretty cool. I most certainly dig it, and of course I also got mine's in the closet, so I'm gonna show yours off.
That's fine.
The Don't Lose Your Way T-shirts from KBD fans X Top Clack. I'm gonna open this up.
Go for it.
I mean, I'm a terrible person.
Yeah, let's do it. No balls.
Because I want to show what the back looks like, because I'm actually really impressed with how it turned out. And unfortunately, see it. Heck. So we got the front, of course. The Don't Lose Your Way.
Don't lose your way.
Which is a total meme and totally fantastic at the same time. And the back actually has the KBD fans
shadow
Top Clack logo.
With the shadow.
And, like, the actual detail on the Top Clack logo is freaking incredible. And I was most pleased with that. So that's
that die sub.
Yeah, like the logo looks incredible in the back. I freaking love it.
Actually, probably patty printed, but yeah, that's hell yeah, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, you can get those at KBD fans right now if anyone was interested in one of those. We don't make any profit on it, so I'm not shilling it for like that kind of reason.
Why don't we make any profit from it?
I don't know. I don't know, and I don't really care because there's probably not like a ton of profit to be had there. But yeah, just. It's a fun shirt. It's a fun shirt. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
All right. Now take us to your very, very interesting mail call.
It's different. No, it's not different. So let's see. First, I got switches. I could grab them, but I don't care if you don't think you guys care to actually physically see them. I got tangerines in both weights, and I got Novalias in 2 days ago. So yay, those are gonna be building with those very, very soon. I got the Heavy 6 from Ryan Norbauer 2 days ago. That was a pretty cool thing. He also lent me his FC 660C for me to actually use in this because I don't have one at the moment. With the badge in the front. He also has lent me his Hasu controller. So in my video that I'll be making soon, demonstrate people, yes, the Hasu controller does fit in this as well as the rest of the thing. And I'm going to give you guys a little typing sounds in the very, very near future. Like, I know it's like Ryan's, I think it's personal FC660C. But I wonder if I can like ask him if I can lube it for him. But I know people can be picky about that. I'm gonna ask him. I'm giving him a big ask.
He'd probably be okay with it. I feel like.
Actually,
apparently my mic's too low, as a few people have been mentioning.
I have raised it. Is it still low? That was.
Oh, okay. This was a couple minutes ago, so might be okay now. Thank you, Polyzoo and Lunar Sama, for the subs. You guys are great.
And GBO, the button-up man says, "Why don't we make a profit?"
And I'm over here with my Slumdog.
He has 99 problems, but making profit off a shirt, making money off a shirt with our brand on it isn't one of them.
Oh boy.
Okay, well I got that in, which is really, really cool. I'm excited. I'll have a little stream up. But before that, I actually got something else from Ryan Norbauer, because he's just an absolutely amazing individual. To show off for everyone, which is his carrying case brief. This is the patch that goes on it. The one of them. This is actually like these are metal. Like this is like weaved metal. I don't know how you do that, but that's what it is. It feels nice and cool. which is really, really cool. So inside, of course, we got the inside. We got the little Ryan's little tag right here. This is like super, super soft. It's like a rugged soft. It's really hard, like a nice leather. I actually don't know what it is. It's like a really nice.
We don't know what kind of baby animals were harmed in the making of this bag,
but
apparently it feels.
It even smells good. It is definitely really pricey, but like, man, this is like quality. I'm gonna be doing a lot of pictures on different keyboards that can and can't fit in this, because I think that's a big consideration for its price. All the hardware for the straps is like, this is like a metal. This is a metal thing right here. This is metal, like this nice. Yeah, it's all metal, of course. It's like a tough seat belt. I like it. Well, I guess that's mostly what it is. I guess I also got this like big workbench thing that I haven't cleaned, but I guess I'll show people. It's not cleaned yet. Sorry for the. No, this might. There you guys. You can see my little workbench. I got a little pegboard back there. I got things just in the way because I haven't cleaned it. So I got my cameras already hooked up right here. It's gonna, So
Can I get a repeat on that noise, please?
So that's the thing. So I'm gonna, like, for build chores. That's why I haven't like done any of my build streams recently at all, because this table just came in yesterday. And I stayed up, kind of had to do a lot of rewiring. I have like another computer that I had extra parts for built up. That's gonna be one streaming computer. Got this as my video editing computer. My whole desk here is just an absolute like blitz of a mess. You guys can't see because I perfectly positioned it, but I got a row of keyboards on this side of me, a row of keyboards on this side of me. So keyboards up the wazoo, and that's the mail call basically.
That's where I like my keyboards. Up the wazoo.
Up the wazoo.
Fantastic.
Fantastic indeed. You know what's fantastic? The amount of news we have today, because it's a good amount. It's a really good amount.
There's a lot of really, really cool things this week too, honestly.
Yeah. And let's move to it. You know what's really cool, Brian? One of your absolute favorite things in this hobby? A good value. And our first topic, which is for some reason on my OBS is now bugged and you can't see our faces, so I'm gonna fix it real quick. Bop 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 bop. Bop bop bop.
No worries.
Bop.
Alright.
Fixed. Okay, so let's hit up this first topic, which has it's a pretty good value. Probably not our normal teacup. Oops, wrong thing. That's our document list. Lol.
Lel.
Remember when we used to always show that for people?
Yeah.
Remember that one
was even worse than we were now.
I know, right? So in Mouse Shop they use this KPrepublic Korean PBT. It's not the biggest deal in the world. The die subbing is okay. I've seen with these sets in person before, but it's $27 for, a die sub set. Cherry profile. So I mean,
so this is one of those situations where I think it's really cool to be able to pay $26 to be able to try out Cherry Profile PBT, because that's cheaper than pretty much anywhere else you can find. Even if you buy like Gateron blanks, they're almost always expensive. So I think that this is a pretty strong value, honestly. And there's some adaptability kits that are not too much more expensive. You get the Modifier Pro kit for another $12. And it gets you pretty much anything you need for like slightly more obscure layouts. So yeah, not a whole lot to say there, other than it seems like a pretty good value if you're on a super tight budget, but you're trying to be a baller anyways.
Who would I recommend? I actually would recommend a lot of people who maybe like have friends who are like, oh, I just want to get a keyboard with some nice keys, and then they're like, oh yeah, an EBBT costs $80, and the people are like, oh, $80 for plastic keycaps. Like, just tell them to get this. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the person I would imagine best to get this. But yeah, there it is. Check it out. $27. 6 hours left. Whatever. If you just have $30 burning in your pocket, get it. You can resell it, same price, whatever.
Gift it to a friend that just hasn't tried Cherry Profile because he can't afford it on his $40 Magic Force
Yeah.
dot caps.
Yeah. Let's move on to our next one, which is moving up the price range in die subbed PBT, which is Rama's PBT Heavy Industry. And this one is interesting because he doesn't list a manufacturer, but when he first put up the page, he actually did say it was ePBT, but then he took that off.
Yeah, so we're not 100% sure who is doing this. Could be Enjoy PBT, could totally not be. Pricing seems in line with other Enjoy PBT sets, so pretty nice work here. I like how kind of simple and clean it is. Judging by the renders, it's quite a bit of a different font than we're used to seeing, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's very interesting. I want to see a set of this in person. I really do.
So I think the big thing for a lot of people is the price for the compatibility, because like maybe $85 you get like a full compatibility thing. Like this only has 65% layouts.
That's true.
For the $80. SimDims in chat saying it is ePBT.
It is ePBT. Okay,
they just
cool.
took that out of the description. But so that's like kind of the only thing. But of course, I kind of understand if there might be increased die subbed costs since they're changing the font. They're having some of their own novelties, like just unique things. I do love the music notes, the eighth notes that they have.
Oh yeah,
the record.
The X's, the O's, the music notes, the dots, stop or record, I presume, and then the Rama logo caps. Pretty nice. I like that.
Pretty nice. Yeah, it's pretty much if you're dedicated and you want to fill your Rama board with some Rama caps, these are kind of the way to go.
Yeah. And the colorway is very neutral too, so it'll work with a lot of different boards. So that's cool. I like this. I really can't wait to see the font in person, honestly.
Yeah.
The pre-order is open for a limited time until the end of November, so you actually still have almost 2 months total to get on this. Just open.
Yeah.
If you did order an M60A, you can get a 10% discount using M60 owner for the coupon code.
Ooh, that's you.
So that brings it down even more, which is pretty cool. Like to see that. Very cool.
That's always a nice little treat. Speaking of things that are nice little treats, lollipops. And why do I bring up lollipops? Because our next set has a single keycap that reminds me of a lollipop in the worst way. Our next keycap we're talking about is the Matteo MT3 Susuwatari. And I'm just going to point out right now, okay, look at that Q key. That Q key is the lollipop. Because the tail comes from the bottom, not the corner.
Yeah. Very interesting font choice.
It's just,
okay.
Aside from that Q, the rest of it looks pretty okay.
Yeah, we did talk about this set when it was an interest check a little while back, and the big takeaway for us was that this is kind of like the real push into custom colorways for the MT3 profile, since the only thing we've really seen so far is the /dev/TTY / whatever set, which was a very mundane set, would really have a whole lot of color going on. So this is kind of the opposite of that, where they just decided to throw a ton of color at this profile and see what happens.
Yeah.
So while I'm not in love with it, I do appreciate the theme, and I do think MT3 is a pretty interesting profile that people should try if you're into higher profile keycap sets.
Yeah, for sure. Like I like the idea of pushing MT3 to be double shot, and because like I said, it opens up all the color options. But now because I see that Q, I'm like, well, what if I want a different Q? I can't just die sub a different Q. It's a different mold if I want to fix that Q to look like a normal Q. So basically, if you're gonna run a set, sure, you can choose your colors now, but like that's, unless you want to pay or have Mashop subsidize the molds, you have to be stuck with that font for better or worse.
Yeah.
And I think that that's going to be a unique challenge for keycap designers who are interested in making colorways in MT3.
I don't mind this font personally. I think it's not bad at all.
I'm okay with everything other than the Q. Like that's really like the one key.
Yeah, the chat seems to be a little split on it. which is understandable.
I mean, my
It's a
main
little polarizing.
yeah, my main critique of I still wish that it was white Legends instead of that yellowish, tannish color. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna get this because I do want to try ABS MT3 under my fingertips. I want to directly compare them to the granddaddy that inspired them, my beam spring I got behind me, because I think that's gonna be a fun comparison. ABS to ABS now. So
Absolutely. I think they really missed an opportunity here when they could have done like actual Susuwatari novelties, and they just didn't.
yeah, this is called Susuwatari.
Yeah, that bums me out a little bit, if I'm being honest. But
They could have called this like
yeah.
Oblividosh.
yeah, that could have been a thing as well.
Oblividosh. Cyber Sam, thank you so much for the 100 cheering bits.
Heck yeah, thanks, man.
Heck, yes. So, I mean, yeah, honestly, I think Oblividosh would have been a good, a transmutation of names. But let's move on to our next topic, which is
before we do, actually, let's just touch on the price real quick.
Okay, 129.99 is the price.
Yeah, so 130. Unlike a lot of other Keycap sets we've seen, barring GMK, usually you see a lot of things split into kits, kind of like the last MT3 profile was. And this one is actually more a la GMK or EPT, where it's kind of just one larger kit. So 130 bucks plus $10 shipping, at least in the US, gets you an okay amount of compatibility. Pretty much anything you need to cover a standard or fairly non-standard board, but of course, not really a whole lot of help for a lot of 40% users and ergo docs, things of the like. So I think that price is all right. Just all right.
Yeah, price is all right. We'll see how it is. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm probably gonna get it just because I want to try that feel. Of the ABS.
It's selling too.
Yeah, no, it's selling really well.
It's actually selling fairly well.
It's probably going to hit that 1,000 mark and bump down that price.
That would be really cool. Oh yeah, wow! I didn't even really look at the MOQ drops. So at 100 MOQ where we are right now, they have 354 currently sold. It's 130. At 500 it drops to 120. Then at 1,000 it drops to 100. I think this is going to be quite a value at $100.
I hope it does.
That would be really, really cool.
Yeah, I guess one thing I want to bring up. I always thought this is interesting. This supports ErgoDocs. Is ErgoDocs like the welfare compatibility? Like every other set basically has to pull their weight to help support ErgoDocs survival. In terms of when Mashop runs sets, because Mashop will offer it.
Well,
like it won't.
It's really hard to make like a child kit or have a set support the ErgoDocs when the ErgoDocs is just one board.
Exactly. I think
it's just one board. It's not like it's a percentage. It's not like a 60% or a TKL. It's one board.
I mean, I think at this point, ErgoDocs, unless like there's more runs of the ErgoDocs coming out that we don't know about, ErgoDocs kits should go the way of the dinosaur until there are more ErgoDocs going to be available. That's what I honestly think.
And a lot of the ErgoDocs people that I talk to, like that's all they use, and they're super into it, and that's totally cool. But like, there just aren't enough people.
Like,
it's not enough people.
I'm pretty sure Kolmak Dvorak sets sell more per group buys than ErgoDocs. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Nathan and Fizky, thank you guys so much for your Twitch Prime subs. You got 9 and 13 months in a row. Fizky, 13 months in a row. Holy moly, thank you so much for that long continued support. You too, Nathan. You're going to be reaching a year pretty soon. Oof.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
So, it's always interesting to think about different kits and, in a way, almost how they've aged out.
Yeah, the ErgoDocs is just so niche, man. It's so niche. Niche within a niche within a niche.
And as a little funny little twist, people citing the Unigo. One, the Unigo isn't going to sell that many because it's very niche. Two, I'm still saying this, and I'm in the Unigo. I was like one of the first 10 people to pay my invoice. Like I'm really on board with that, but like I'm not too worried about my compatibility for that.
Yeah, and it's not that it's not a cool product because it totally is. It's just there aren't enough people that can, just use that in that alone.
Yep.
Or just that into.
Check out the MT3 Susuwatari when you get a chance. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you won't. Maybe the font will look better in person. I hope so. But here it is. It's probably going to get a price drop. So check it out. It's running for 27 more days. So, yeah.
Yep. The typical mass drop fashion these days, doing month-long group buys.
Yeah, and let's move on to our next topic, which is the opposite of that, which is PMK, which they're like, hey, straight to stock. Straight to stock, we got DSA Alchemy just hitting my email this morning, and I was like, oh my god, Quiz Wires. I thought it was April Fool's today, but it's real. It's actually happening. Like, it's real.
This has kind of been a long time coming.
Too long.
For people that have followed this set or Chris Wires in general. He's a great community member. And he's been trying to get this out for a while now. So
since early summer, I think.
Now it actually happened. Oh, I think it was before that.
Like I remember, like for a while, he was like,
"It's been a while."
PMK told me it should be a next month's monthly release, and it wasn't. And he's like, "Oh, I'm going to talk to PMK about this." Like 3 months in a row, and he's like, "It will happen eventually, guys. Don't worry." So I've had this constant joke with him about like, "Oh, yeah, we'll see." But no, it's real. It's real. You can order right now. They'll ship it out tomorrow or whenever PMK gets back. They ship out pretty quick these days.
Yeah, they're actually fairly quick to ship. So yeah, let's do a little price breakdown here. You get the alphas for $58, and the TKL modifiers for $52. So for $110. You can cover a standard TKL plus a little bit extra. There's a couple extra compatibility caps in there. But pretty standard price for what we'd expect from a signature plastic set. Spending over $100 and only be able to put it on standard layouts. But thankfully, the additional kits, most of them aren't too terrible. The alternative kit, which is probably what a lot of people are also going to be grabbing, is only $32. That brings your price up to $142. Within GM.
Don't forget that 7U spacebar, buddy, because the alternate kit doesn't include it.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Right. So you get the spacebar's kit, another $10. So at $152 for any kind of more or less non-standard layout. So we've seen DSA and SA be way more expensive than this, so it's not terrible. Do
they have anyone who gives them feedback on how they do these bundles? Because, like, for example, let's look at real quick the TKL mods, okay? The TKL modifiers, okay? So we got the TKL. Who uses a standard bottom row TKL with a 1.75U shift with a 1U FN? Like, who does, like, I'm going to be standard everything, and then I'm going to split that right shift? Who does that?
Pretty rare. Well, I think it's probably more for set use at that point.
But then you have to get the alternate mods and the 7U anyways, so why not throw that with the alternate?
Wait. No, you can do a 60% with this, still have split rate shift.
That's true, but
with the
it's just like, it just seems like it should just go with. I don't know, most people who I know who do at least standard bottom row 60% will also do standard row above that. You're totally right, absolutely. That's the only reason I think it's just a bit off.
It's a little weird.
But it is what it is. That's SP has their own way of breaking down kits, and it can add up to a lot depending on what you want. But hey, support our boy Chris Wires, the man of two tables. I'm pretty confident he only has like 2 tables. Like, he just brings those tables everywhere.
I'm pretty sure I was talking to him about it like a while ago, and he's like, I don't even like doing that anymore. I just do it because people like it. All right.
It's just the life he lives.
Yeah, it's just that's what happens when that's like your claim to fame, I suppose. Sometimes you get locked into things. Anyways, the set itself looks pretty nice. DSA, you guys thought it was extinct, but it's still here.
It's still here.
Yep. Speaking of, we have yet another DSA set. This one hitting mass drop. And you can join this drop for the starting price of $70. this is kind of a weird set. I don't really understand the whole theme here. You can either get it in Elvish or Russian, and that will also change which colorway you get as well. And I really don't understand the premise.
I think the premise is, how do I get money from people who like sub-legends a lot, but not give them any sub-legends? Or make the sub-legends the main legends?
Yeah, exactly. So this is pretty interesting. You can get either version in dual legend or mono legend. But if you get the dual legend, the English is going to be a much smaller font in the bottom right there. So you're still going to have that main non-English legend in the middle.
So like,
doesn't look terrible to me, but it's a little funky.
No, to be totally honest, I really like the all Cyrillic, with like one exception, which is I wish that number row had the subs, for exclamation at, I have all those memorized, but I still like visually how that looks than just the number. But then keep the alphas like that. That's what my main thing was. But I actually like how the all Cyrillic looks. I know I said that joke, but I actually I don't know what I'd use this for, but I'm honestly kind of considering it. Because I do think it looks kind of cool, but what do I use? What the heck do I use? I use red on a blackboard, or I guess my meme, but
yeah.
So what's the price, Brian?
Anyways, so yeah, the starting price is $70. That will cover your standard TKLs, as well as 7U spacebar and 1.5U alt mods. Alt and control for windkeyless bottom row TKL. So that's kind of interesting. They do support that in the standard kit. So that's all included for $70. If you want to pay an additional $24, which is how much every single child kit in here is listed for. Every single additional kit is $24.99, $25. So they do have ergodox options, numpads, and extras. Extras being your extra compatibility for more Songon stuff, just like that.
It'd be really popular?
What's that?
An essay version of the Cyrillic.
Could be very interesting, yeah.
I think it would be. Then this has the ergodox as well. Crazy.
Yeah. Definitely. Actually, the price here isn't too terrible. Because even if you're just grabbing the base kit, the extra set, you're spending $95, and you can cover most standard, pretty much anything you really want that's not obscure for under $100.
I think this is honestly a pretty decent way to break out the sets. You can get the base, and the base does include the 1.5s and 7U spacebar, by the way. It just doesn't include those 1Us. So you actually get the base for,
Actually, that's only true of the Russian set. Look at the Elvish set. They actually do include win keys there, which is really strange why they do that there, but not in the Russian variety.
Mass drop inconsistencies.
That is really... Oh, no, they do. It's just... It's... No, they don't.
Yeah, right? Unless, they just accidentally cut it off.
Yeah, in the Russian, they include them in the extras kit. In the Elvish, they're included in the base kit. That's kind of strange, considering all the prices are the same. I wonder what the reason that is.
We didn't... The reason is either... actually a legitimate reason, or most likely, we forgot to fix one or the other. Because they should be the same.
I would bet money now. Which is always funny to get.
Which, regardless, getting just the base and extras, as you said, honestly kind of great.
Yeah, $95 for a fairly full-featured DSA set. Pretty darn.
Maybe I might get this if I get the Chikori 40. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I really like actually all the Elvish mods. Like the text on the Elvish mods looks pretty nice. Anyways, we've been on this one for too long. Let's move on.
So speaking of things, I suppose these are things we can see about the set, but we haven't talked that much about things you can hear, and what you can hear a lot of times is a staccato. And you might be wondering, Kiwi, what is a staccato? It is an adverb and adjective with each sound or note sharply detached or separated from the others, which is our next intercheck from Chris McCain. And this is a 6% he has been working on. He's been posting a few pics in one of our Top Clack channels about his progress, and this is a gasket mount 60%.
Yep. Absolutely. And a couple things to note here. The way he does the gasket mount, I think, is actually really, really good and really smart. So he actually has grooves cut out in what I think is the bottom and the top pieces, the part that actually squeezes together on the plate. And there's little grooves there. So in theory, you could use it without the gaskets, or you could use it with the gaskets. So you put it in there, it squeezes the plate together. You know, you screw it in tightly, and it has gaskets around the entire circumference of the plate, which is, I think, probably the best way to go about it, to be totally honest. So really looking forward to seeing how this goes. He's got a pretty bulky brass weight in there. I think the weight on this is probably going to be pretty nice. Side profile angle looks pretty clean, pretty elegant. You see the plate come out through there too, so it's kind of like a 3-layer thing, including the plate. Honestly, It looks pretty darn good. No?
Yeah. Yeah, and the pricing wise, he's pretty good. He's trying to most likely below 300, excluding shipping, of course. No ISO. That 6.66 degree angle, buddy. We got 7U HHKB or wind keyless versions. Yeah.
Yeah, if he can keep this below 300 before shipping, that seems like a pretty big win, honestly.
And I think he's been playing around with the weight design. It might be, staccato eighth notes. 2 of them. We'll see. We will see how it turns out. But I'm really looking forward to this. Yeah, it's gonna be a cool one. It's gonna be a cool one. He has even a little GIF at the bottom. If you click the little GIF, it'll do a little expanding like.
Oh yeah.
So
that's look how many pieces there are to that because of that gasket mount too. I love that. And this is something I'm really, really, really hoping we start to see more of, because gasket mount is really, really cool. It may not be life-changing, but it's very cool, and it's almost always incredibly inexpensive to implement. So definitely want to see more gasket mount coming out, especially because I think it really does clean up a lot of the sound, a lot of the reverb that you might not want in a keyboard. And since sound is becoming such a popular thing these days, having a cleaner typing sound is really, really favorable for a lot of people. So shout outs to Chris. Hope this goes really well, because definitely something that you guys should be thinking about.
So if you haven't yet, click this form, fill it out, help the man out with your feedback. Heck yeah. So let's move on to a board that needs no feedback. A board, thank you Rama, by the way, for all those 100 bits. Let's move on to a maker who, for the most part, doesn't need any feedback, because this creator has been in the game for a long time and has been making very established, very great designs. And let's talk about this group by TGR Jane V2. I know it already ended. In fact, it ended 41 seconds after it started.
You know what else ends 41 seconds after it starts?
Hey! Yeah, so this is the TGR Jane V2. We did cover it in the Inters Jack. It has that really, really lovely Toblerone-esque weight on the back of it. It has a nice beefy weight in the bottom. Yeah.
TGR Jane, very classic design, tried and true. The people that have had the V1 for a long time, they love the board. People pay out the ass for TGR Jane V1s secondhand, super duper expensive. A lot of people love them. I've tried them at meetups before. They feel and look absolutely incredible. The quality is very, very top notch, as you'd expect from a TGR product. So no surprise that even at the prices he was asking for, these sold out in well under a minute.
41 seconds, he says, was the cutoff. Anyone whose form went through after 41 seconds did not make it.
Yeah.
That is intense. That was all 40 spots.
Yeah. And not that it really matters, since no one can order this anymore, but we'll still go over the specs a little bit. So the absolute bare bottom base price was $550, which included the case, the brass plate, weights, and the PCB. And that's excluding estimated $60 shipping to US, and not that much less for anywhere else. So you're already looking at about $610 just for a base kit shipped to the US. Pretty darn high, but he's got that quality, he's got that reputation. It's totally understandable. Shipping from Malaysia, lead time 45 to 120 days. That's a really wide range, IMO.
Yeah, so
really wide range.
The reason he has that range is kind of like for the Alice's. For the Alice, for example, I think it was every single pink color he said no to, and he told his factory, remake these, not passing my QC. He cares a lot about quality, so he will reject a whole color batch if he's unhappy with it, and that's why he has that long lead time.
At these prices and that lead time, then that's you absolutely have you have every right to be that picky. You want to get the best product you can into people's hands when they're paying this kind of price and waiting that long.
Mm-hmm. So I'm okay with that. I need to pay my invoice. I just got it earlier today. I
don't even want to look at an invoice. I don't even want to look at it.
I got it with the polycarb half plate and extra PCB. Even though I technically didn't need one because I know Heinebusch's his PCB, which, hey, if you guys haven't checked it out yet, we covered it, but I'm going to say it again. Check out Heinebusch's PCB because it's really cool and really awesome if you have a TKL that's compatible. Ding!
The H87A.
Yeah, go check that out. You can get that, QMK, the whole shebang. But, yeah, I got those things. For anyone curious, I 41 seconds was the cutoff. I came running in, and it's like a movie. I slid as the gate was closing, and like my hat was on the other side, like Indiana Jones. I grabbed it real quick, and I made it through. My form was submitted at 40 seconds on the dot.
You were potentially 1 second away from not being able to get Jane.
Yep.
Intense, like camping.
Oof. Intense. Oof. Like the fire at the circus. I don't know.
I hate this show. But not actually. I actually love this show. And you know why? Because you're awesome. We can talk about cool news. And moving on with our really cool news, we have a doozy of a topic in the Rama Works KOYU, I believe is how it's pronounced.
Yes.
Hopefully Rama doesn't get mad at me for that.
Met with various words from various community members. Very surprisingly to me, this wasn't like universally like, oh, thank God Rama put the next product out. I actually heard a lot of good and bad about this when this broke. But let's read this first sentence. The wait for something isn't the most conscious desire, but that anticipation creates nostalgia. Okay, I think it's too cringy if I read the rest of this. But there's a very certain angle KOYU's going for, and Rama wants to bring you an amazing product with a 65% blocker. Yay. It's
love the blocker.
Interesting page to advertise. For some reason, I'm not getting like great frames with this right now. Probably because of OBS, but like for some reason it is kind of laggy for me, which is kind of like makes me feel like a 90s website where like all the
it has a very interesting look. It works totally fine for those, not the one streaming.
So it does have
anyways, he's got a pretty cool video, 30-second video here that kind of hypes you up. I've watched it a few times already. It's pretty nice. This is kind of effectively like an M65B in a way. It does have a very similar aesthetic to the M65A, which is cool. Of course, you got that block rail this time, which a lot of people are big fans of, including myself. Internally, from what it seems like to me, it's going to be kind of similar to the M60A. So it's going to have that sweet PCB that gives you the hot swap with the SMD RGB LEDs per key, which is great. USB-C, as well as an integrated 4.5mm plate, and that internal weight system that he started doing with the M60A. So if you want a heavier version, you can add on that weight while you're in the store. Just add that right in there, and bam, you get a super heavy keyboard. Pretty cool. So I think okay, yes, there is a link at the bottom of this page that takes you to the store, so we can check out the price and spec breakdown a little bit easier.
And there's also the tank version as well.
Yeah, tank and tank light, which is pretty interesting. So the tank version is quite a doozy. It's all brass, and that's something we've been seeing a little bit more in the community lately with the things like the E6, the E7. But there was other all brass boards recently too, if I'm not mistaken. Can't remember them. But yeah, filling the theme here, we get the all brass tank option, which is $1,000 USD, which is a pretty penny. It's most certainly kind of a collectible at that point, you know. No one really needs an all brass board, Huey.
2 of them.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious to see like how many people buy this. So I think it'd be an awesome product. But obviously, you have to be able to afford a $1,000 keyboard. For those of you that have just shy of $1,000, and maybe you have 800, you can get the Tank Light version, which is a little bit different. It's the same as the Tank, but with an aluminum base in place of the brass one. So, you know, you get a little bit less brass, and that's replaced. So a little bit lighter, but still immensely heavy, I imagine. Oh, he does have the weights here. Cool. So the KOYU Tank version, without switches and caps, is 4,400 grams. So that's 4.4 kilograms, right? That's how it works.
Yes, that's how metric works.
That's pretty extreme. And if you add the interior weight, it's 5.2 kilograms. So well over 10 pounds here, potentially, depending on your configuration. Pretty darn extreme, but very cool. You get that thick 4.5 millimeter plate. You get 8-degree angle. Like I mentioned earlier, you already get SMD RGBs, KL hot swap sockets, and the PCB is QMK. Whew, that's a freaking doozy. One of these kits is going to come with the top housing, bottom housing, custom molded feet, all of your mounting hardware, your PCB, a USB-C cable. Oh wait, it must be a breakout for the interface board. Okay, so you get all your hardware, all your wires, and a USB-C cable, hex tools, and various packaging. So if you're familiar with Rama products, you probably know that he takes his packaging very seriously, and it's often quite an experience in itself, which is really cool. A lot of people are into that. So lots of info there. Big, intense keyboard. How do you guys feel about this? You too, Huey. How do you feel about the KOYU?
I like the concept. As far as I'm gonna go. I don't think I won't buy one. I would buy one over the M60 or the U80 actually. This is probably one of my favorite boards of his. That he's actually put out. But if I wasn't already invested in so many other boards right now, yeah, no. I gotta pay my Jane invoice after the show ends, and after that, like, sorry, KOYU. I just, like I said, this is actually my favorite board Rama's put out.
It's a doozy. It's kind of like a hybrid between the M65A and the M60A in a way. And I really like that. I'm really looking forward to my M60A. It's pretty much the standard array of colors that he's got going on here. He's got Kuro, which is black, Moon, which is dark gray, Mist, which is silver. This one he's got a little bit different things going on though. He does still have the dark green, which is sage, but here he has haze, which is a gold/deep purple combo, and he also has race, which is a black/red combo.
I get it, haze, purple haze.
That haze is actually pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'd get the haze. Yeah. But I also can't justify a 65% because I'm already in for the Zephyr.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. So pretty cool stuff there. That's open now. Anybody who wants to join. A base kit is going to run you $360. That's before the internal weight. So keep that in mind as well. But you can add that later on for $85 in the cart if you'd like. Feel like that extra heft. So pretty cool there.
Yeah.
Hopefully that goes well for them.
Check it out when you get a chance. Let's move on to our next topic. Something that I don't think, that not too many people are into, but it's one of those things where if you're into this kind of thing, you'll know this is a really cool kind of thing. I'm really into this. Remix. This is a Unigo 66. It is a, quote, truly ultimate wireless ergo customized keyboard. What a mouthful, old cat. Probably should have had me wordsmith that for you, but it's okay. This is the Unigo 66. Both sides are wireless. There is a receiver. That's going to be all wireless. So both sides, there's no TRRS like people are used to when they have split boards. No, it's all wireless. Aluminum construction, 2 pieces, integrated plate, top, bottom. And there's acrylic bottom to let the signals go out. Yeah, the feet are kind of cool, I think, and how they're shaped. I'm really looking forward to this. Serious Designer has kind of soft confirmed on the Discord that polycarbonate wrist rests will be made as well. Which mean extra costs, but this is an aluminum split ortho ergo. It's not, vertically staggered like the ErgoDox. One thing I do like over the ErgoDox is the fact that I can reach the thumb buttons. This is truth. I like to feel how it looks. So there's kind of like a 2 option thing I like. So the quote unquote bottom row, those 3 keys on each side, you can get the 111 bottom, or you can get the 1.25 1 1.25, which I like more because it's like a mini Win keyless, but not right. It has that little yeah.
I think it's more aesthetically pleasing.
It is way more aesthetically pleasing. So both options are going to be available. We've got colors in gray, black, and pearl white, which is going to be really cool. So for $350, we're getting 2 they call them hands cases, gray or black. Of course, white's an extra. The PCBs, they all have hot swap sockets, so don't need to solder.
Very cool.
If you're not about that. There's going to be a receiver, which will come in gray or black. You get the acrylic bottoms. You get 5 backup hot swap sockets in case any of yours go wrong. I don't think it's that necessary, but it's a nice little touch. They'll feed the box.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So if you only want to get one of them, you just drop $150. Maybe you only want the left hand because you're a hardcore gamer and you're like, I don't need no fancy right hands. I only want a left hand for really cool macro board. Cool. Yeah, and it's gonna be a wireless board for that.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. It's funny because the receivers are mostly aluminum as well. So your receiver, you can get it matched, the gray or black, or even pay $5 more to get a pearl white receiver. For the 5% PayPal fee, look up the forum if you guys are more interested. I'm a big supporter of this board. I'm in it. So there's button batteries on both sides for the wireless. No LEDs. It's not going to take much. They've estimated about 6 months batteries, but as we all know about batteries, that's just, even if we're conservative and we cut that in half, 3 months wireless on each side, pretty good. It uses the QMK, TMK, 5 acrylic bottom. Yeah, I said all that. I don't know. What do you guys think? For me, this is like a yes, a absolute yes for me in terms of an ergo split board. Truly wireless, I'm really looking forward to. And I might even every now and then just pull out that left side to Overwatch or other games with.
Yeah. So this is actually really cool for a lot of reasons. Not only does it look nice, and have a good amount of options, but this is kind of the first I'm going to use the term high end here. This is going to be the first high end ErgoDox alternative that's really been on the market. Because most of the ErgoDox stuff is it's not that nice, honestly.
Here's your 4-layer acrylic printed. Not that that's bad, but it's just not.
It's totally functional. Totally functional. That's fine. But this there's a lot of design here. It's much more aesthetically pleasing. You're actually working with metal here. You have some real design as opposed to just flat layered acrylic, or something like the ErgoDox Easy, which is a molded plastic or something. This feels like a truly high end product in comparison, at least judging from this. So yeah, I do like the fact that you can also get the one hand. That's pretty nice. I kind of want to do that. Just
not a bad idea. So a small little thing for supported layout for the thumb clusters, you can use 2 1Us instead of a 2U for those keys. So you can actually have a 2x2 or a maybe 1 2U and 2 1Us if you want more buttons. So
wait, could you have 4 1Us
Yep.
in one of those clusters?
Yep.
Okay, very interesting.
Yeah. So if one of your thumbs is a bit more, flexible than the other one, thumb it up, Buttercup. So check this out when you get a chance. I'm a big supporter. I'm rooting for this the whole way. I mean, it's basically like it's a thing. It's happening. Just hop on board, everyone. Hop on board.
Yep. Cool project indeed.
Let's move on to our next topic. This is by Nixtheria. We did cover the Intercheck, but now it's here in the group by the Oxalis S80. I think I said that right.
I think it's Oxalis. But
Oxalis. Oxalis sounds cooler. Let's go with Oxalis S80. This is a TKL. It's finally here.
This is a nice, bulky TKL. It looks pretty hefty, judging by these side profiles and chamfered edges.
That side cutout?
Nice. Yeah, exactly. I dig the side cutout. The edges are very Fiel-esque to me. I think if we ignore like the side cutout and stuff, like the actual edges seem very Fiel-esque to me, which I do enjoy. I do like that. I don't know why, but the thing I love most about this board is the text on the weight on the actual version, not in the ring.
It's like very fantasy.
Yeah. I don't know why, but like it's very like magical.
It's like makes me want to like bring that out and like roll my D20 and be like, ha ha.
Exactly, yes.
17 for initiative.
Really, really love that. The side cutout, pretty nice, pretty standard looking almost. But the edges really kind of shine here for me. The weight really kind of shines here for me. No pun intended, because it looks like, at least on this prototype, he doesn't have any kind of sealant on the brass, so that's why it's oxidizing.
I like that.
But yeah, a lot of people are totally into that patina look. That's not uncommon at all.
I don't know if that weight picture was the best picture. If you look at the weight picture on the bottom part, are those scratches or like little lines on the bottom? Yes, do you see that? You know what I'm talking about? It's like one, and then there's another group of two.
Oh, do you mean on the case or the weight?
On the case, on the picture of the weights.
Yeah, no, I completely see that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously a prototype, so it could have just been kind of manufacturing mishap or a shipping mishap. In theory, that hopefully your boards will be nice when they get to you.
Yeah.
Regardless, you got 6063 anodized aluminum here, 8 degrees typing angle. There will be an Oxalis 87 PCB made by your local Heinebusch. Pretty cool stuff there. QMK support, of course. Brass plate, sandblasted, the matte finish, which I do like. I really like the matte finish sandblasted. So I'm pretty sure that's what the QXP uses, and it looks amazing. I love brass like that. Anyways, weight will be the same way. The available colors, you get a hard anodized black, or you can get silver, dark blue, dark purple, or cyan. So, interesting array of colors. He really likes that his blues, apparently. Only get dark blue, cyan, purple, or neutral colors. No gray, no white option, no red or pink or anything like that. So, kind of interesting. Anyways, the base kit is going to run you $430, which is case, weight, plate, and PCB. You can add stuff for more money, of course, including brass plate, polycarbonate plate, another PCB. Shipping costs and PayPal fees will be added to the final invoice. So, of course, it's shipping from Indonesia. So people in the U.S. are probably going to be looking at paying at least $50 or $60 shipped for this. Not too surprising there. Yeah, 4.5 kilograms, so this is not a light package. Anyways, it's open until the slots are full, which I don't see a number that he's looking for here.
Cool.
So I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. Yeah, production, he's claiming 2 months, which is pretty darn quick, followed by a few more weeks of shipping and quality control, of course. But yeah, not a bad looking board. Price seems about what we'd expect for this kind of product in the market right now. Not terribly surprising. Not too shabby. I hope the weights do look like that, though. I prefer it sealed, but I like that font.
Yeah,
really gets me.
Yeah,
it's nerd in me.
Speaking of things that are getting people this season, is a lot more TKLs. People are really digging the TKLs. The big push recently. So our next topic, we're gonna go to another TKL. This one's over on Z Frontier, and this is the group buy for the Kira by Thesis Camper. Here it is. Tell me about this board, Brian. Speak to me.
I mean, if well, as you expect, it's a TKL 10 keyless keyboard. If you're a fan of Thesis Camper's design style, kind of like on the Kira 60, this is kind of reminiscent of that as well. You get those, what I'm going to call very polarizing side profiles. Personally, I'm not in love with that, but I know a lot of people are, so, fair enough, more power to you. It is a very large, bulky board, judging by these pictures. Looks like it might have maybe a little bit taller than I would personally like. But, that is what it is. You can get it in win key or win keyless, and the kit will come with your bottom housing, your top housing, aluminum plate. Aluminum plate doesn't look like you have an option unless you add the brass plate or polycarbonate plate, which is cool. You get your PCB, you get your electroplated brass weight. Electroplated, interesting. As well as accessories, which presumably all your mounting hardware. Starting price is $400, so I guess this would be considered one of like the cheaper TKLs coming out nowadays. In colors of Pearl Blue, Premium Red, Moon Gray, Poseidon Blue, Deep Black, and Lavender Violet. So you actually get 2 blue options here, which is kind of interesting. And there are some, I'm assuming these are rendered. Those actually might be prototypes.
Those look like prototypes.
Look at that Poseidon Blue. Look, that is interesting.
Yeah.
It's almost like a green blue in a way. Huh. Very interesting bottom weight as well. I dig that design, honestly. So pretty cool looking stuff here through our good friends at Z Frontier, of course. $400. Not too terrible.
Not terrible indeed. Manufactured by Eve. Eve been, working hard in the community, putting out a lot of keyboards, manufacturing a lot of keyboards. 60 units available. So if you're interested, get at it. Get at it.
Yep. Might not last too long.
Speaking of something that is lasting at the moment, is Mechanics' Klippe Plus, which is honestly the best value product Leandrin has ever done. $180 for a 60% tray mount with the brass weights. We got another $35 for 3-day DHL shipping. It's gonna be shipping in November. No limits on orders, unlike the Fialsi's run or the other Klippe runs in the past. This is no limit. You order it, you're gonna get it, buddy. And you can even, change things up. Change things up if you feel like.
Yeah, not too bad. So you get a pretty good array of case colors. I think it's pretty nice. Red, blue, black, silver, purple, orange, or gray. And then what he's calling an underplate. I think he's kind of avoiding the use of weight here.
Or insert.
Even though it's like kind of a weight. Because like, if you go with the brass or the steel options, which are both options for your underplate, it obviously will add more weight to your keyboard. So in that sense, it's weight. But it's also not the largest weight we've ever seen on a keyboard before. So I think he's kind of trying to avoid that. You can also get it as more of an accent, So you can get orange, purple, black, red, or blue aluminum accent, so that won't add any weight to the board from what is already taken out of it. But if you want to mix up colors or something, go for some kind of color scheme, there you go. I think the price is pretty good, $179 here. Not too shabby, and that actually includes brass or steel insert or any of the aluminum ones. $35 shipping is a little hefty to me. I get he doesn't really have a whole lot of choice. That might actually be like his very best option overall. DHL International's pretty good, honestly, but $35 is a big chunk of this case's price to begin with. And I think the fact that you have to pay $35 for shipping makes it a little less of a value.
Yeah,
just a little bit less.
It's definitely climbing when you add that. One thing I'm a bit curious on is he has all these options for his, I'm gonna call it the inserts. Where are the other color option pictures? He only has renders of red and brass and the real brass sample. It'd be nice even if there are renders to give us the renders of the other colors and the steel one, because people are buying these blind.
For sure, yeah. And if this is actually going to be like an in-stock product that he just has, you got to have pictures of everything.
So...
But again, he doesn't estimate shipping until November, so he might not actually have more than like 1 or 2 sites ready.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of wish he did.
Once he has those in stock, though, he really needs to put all those pictures up to see all the color options.
Oof, imagine if you did every case with every secondary option. It's a lot of pictures, but please.
It sounds like a busy day, but it sounds really worth it.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. So yeah, it's gonna be shipping straight from factory, actually, not from him, according to this post.
Oh, interesting.
So
that's oddly interesting.
Yeah,
that usually happens.
So for me, I did say earlier this is the best value Leandrin has ever put out for any of his products. I still think it's a bit high, but I guess it being his best value is a consolation to that, because it has a.
I think you're actually wrong. I think round 1 Fiel was the best value.
I'm not going to count round 1 Fiel because basically no one could get it. / can get it.
That's
right. I'm just comparing round 2 Fiel, which was the Oko Fiel and all of the Klippes before.
Certainly.
Okay, so yeah, taking round 1 Fiel out, this is his best value. Putting it in, it's second place. But overall, is it even though it's his best value, is it a good value? If you like this look, this or the tofu.
One cool thing here that he is doing is the addition of brass plates. If you order a Klippe Plus, you can get a brass plate, any of his varieties, Pro ANSI, Pro HHKB, Pro ISO, or the Universal, for only $20.
Yeah.
So if you consider the savings on a plate, because you're usually not going to find a brass plate anywhere else for $20. This is just going to be the cheapest option. So if you do plan on ordering one with a brass plate, you are kind of getting some savings. That which is.
If you're going to join a pre-order for a board that you're going to end up spending a $205 on, possibly plus PayPal fees.
$215.
Sorry,
after shipping.
$180
$180 plus.
Would you want the runner of the keyboard to look at your board before it shipped out? Because he's not looking at these boards; they're shipping straight from factory. Unless he works at that factory and he's at the end of the assembly, packing them and shipping them. No one's looking at these boards.
Chances are this is a Chinese factory, and he lives in Norway, if I'm not mistaken. So, no. But maybe he has someone there looking at them before they go out. It's possible. Maybe he just trusts them that much. It's hard to say. But yes, I would like some kind of QC before.
Yeah.
Goes out.
I know, because I talked to Ryan Norbauer about this, because he used to have a very similar service for the round 1 Nova Touches, and he had a big issue with that because they would come to him and they'd be like, hold on, nah. And that's why he personally checks every single order out of his shop. But while that's a big unfortunate thing, I wish, even if I had to pay even if they had to raise it $5 to $10, that peace of mind does help a lot of people, and especially in this community. Because, for example, we talked earlier about the TGR Jane. Yutsuki looks at every single board. He'll reject whole batches if one thing is off, because he's really in it.
And he has. QC.
Yeah, and he has, even for his most recent buys. So, yeah, but, maybe it would raise the price too high for this price point he's aiming for. Hopefully this factory does work out and everything is good. Maybe I'm just, paranoid, right? But the possibility exists.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't. We haven't talked to him about this. We don't know. The quality could be absolutely perfect, and he has a guy there that's QCing everything, and that's already included in the price somehow, or something. We don't have that information. We're kind of just ballparking.
Mm-hmm. It's a balance. It's a balance. Yeah. And speaking of balances, that kind of brings us to our next topic, our next keyboard, because this is a board that wants you to embrace harmony. This is the interest check for the TaiChi TKL keyboard, which will be manufactured by Eve, and already there's two things that'll strike everyone's eyes right away: the side and the bottom. Okay, let's talk about the side. Let's talk about the actual prototype picture, the second post. There we have the side, squared close to you for the side, then it rounds off at the end. for the actual side itself. Interesting. Very, very interesting.
Yeah. I absolutely love the bottom. I absolutely dislike the sides. The sides look so freaking goofy to me. I don't know why.
So
the bottom, I think, is absolutely pristine, though. Love that.
Totally unnecessary. I was joking earlier about it with I think with Olivia or someone. I was joking like, just imagine how baller it would be if that weight was one piece that was actually connected. Unnecessary. I doubt they'll do that.
Oh, do you mean like the two dots?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are they separate pieces?
Why wouldn't they be?
Yeah.
I mean, according to the black prototype, they're different. Because on the black prototype, there's nothing in the middle. So.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. I think an opportunity was missed here where he could have done like an actual brass layer on the inside of the bottom, and these would just be the protrusion.
That'd be expensive.
That'd be expensive, but it'd be really heavy and it'd be really cool.
Founders edition.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I think the sides look really not that good personally. I think the kind of like the curve, the swoop that he has on the back is really out of place.
I think it would be way better if he didn't have that really bad seam. That's like the seam sticks out so bad in the middle.
The seam is brutal here. Yeah, like, it's really, really brutal. Even people in chat are commenting on it.
It looks like a plastic. Do you know plastic toys that have really bad seams? It's like that. It's like I feel like I could scratch at that. I want to scratch at that seam because how bad it is.
I want this bottom on a 60%. That's all I can. But yeah, kind of interesting. He does have tons and tons of pictures of actual prototypes, which is really, really cool when you're doing an IC. So I really appreciate that.
I really like the concept art.
For that.
Scroll down. There's the concept art of the board that they had.
I feel like I've been scrolling forever. Oh, there we go. Why wasn't the TaiChi logo on the top? Also, that another missed opportunity. I think that was a winner. And make it somehow be like notification. Perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, those concept. Cool.
The concept art is actually really cool. Almost like behind the scenes look at it. I mean, I'm not for me, I can't even comment on the sides because I'm too distracted by that seam. Like, I can't personally tell whether or not I like the side or not, just because I can't see anything but that seam. Like, to me, it looks like two different sides. Like, I just see the seam.
Yeah. Oh well, that's how it goes. You know, maybe this is an IC, so maybe he will make some more adjustments. We don't know. He already has prototypes, though. We'll see how much he's willing to drop on potentially more prototypes, because that's usually a tall order to ask. Anyways, so you get 6061 aluminum, your choice of a win keyless or win key, an angle of 7 degrees, and then your plate options and weight options will either be aluminum, brass, or stainless steel. So pretty normal options here. Not too terrible. PCB, they don't know yet. He's going to talk to C3 and Eve to check for compatibility, so we'll have some kind of PCB offering with well. No note on price that I can find, but I'd expect this to be kind of a doozy with all the cuts and angles, cheating time this probably takes.
We'll see. We'll see. Speaking of something we're going to see soon, something I think is going to be really interesting on October 25th, 2018 at 9 a.m. Korea time. It's the LG SE-MP. So LG, of course, is doing another TKL. But why this is interesting? This is really unique, I think. You know, it's giving credit to people who've supported it in his past. He does have a 35-unit raffle system, but for this raffle, only people who joined the LG CLS, CLSM, CLSHS, MSN, and GHV2 can join this raffle. So only previous customers can join the raffle. Otherwise, there's only going to be 10 units, first come, first serve. 45 total, 1 keyboard per person. Oof.
Pretty darn limited.
Yeah. Yeah.
He does have a couple pictures here. These are awful pictures, by the way. Truly, truly bad. Like I can look at all three of these pictures and I still have no idea what the board looks like. Kind of a bummer. I hope we get some updated pictures. Sure.
They have potato cameras in South Korea, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. But similar kind of to like the TGR, LZ has a very established reputation. He's been around for a long time. He's been putting out high quality products for a long time, and thus we can expect this to be probably fairly nice, but also probably fairly expensive. Just kind of the way it is.
Yeah.
Especially since it's so limited.
Yeah, we'll see how it turns out. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. In a way, the fact that he's like, hey, raffle is only for like previous buyers. That's in a way really kind of unique and almost like a little mysterious. But people who really do support LZ and what he's done in the past definitely get a heads up on that, which is nice on his part, I guess. It's in a way. It's gonna be limited. We're gonna see how it's gonna turn out. I mean, it's gonna be a big mystery until right before, basically. Only gonna be 3 colors: black, silver, shine, gray. So I think a lot of people are just gonna keep their eyes on this, and it's gonna be one of those things where you're gonna jump quick, or you're gonna be like, nah. It's not gonna be like a big build up like the TGR was. It's just gonna be like suddenly, 9 a.m. Shutters up, shutters down. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's what he's choosing to do, and that's totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
So bam, there is that. You get 9-degree angle, standard 60-61 aluminum, 3x brass weight. So there's 3 brass weights for this.
Cool.
I don't really understand what that's supposed to be.
It's gonna be 3 brass weights. I mean, he has said he's gonna. No one's gonna see it basically until right before. So.
Oh.
It's like a mystery, like before delivery even. It's like no one's gonna see it.
Wow.
People are just buying in. You just have to trust. You have to trust.
That is really interesting.
You just have to trust
this is
LZ.
probably going to be like a $600 keyboard.
Yeah, it's a mystery. You trust LZ.
Very, very, very interesting.
He's putting his name as designer on the line, and you know what? That's bold. That's like removing a 3.5mm jack bold.
That is confidence.
Possibly bolder than that. NGO, that's ballsy. I like it. Yeah, it's pretty ballsy to be honest. It's intense. There's very few designers I would do that for. I don't know if I would do that for LZ. I've used a lot of his boards at meetups, and his boards are wonderful. But they're design-wise have been hit or miss with me. It's hard to say if I would straight up trust him with a blind board. Very few people I'd trust for a blind board in terms of designers.
Yeah,
maybe like 1 or 2 for me. But I the concept itself, I think it's really cool. Because it's unique. Such a unique concept.
Absolutely. I don't know if I trust any designer blindly for like a $600 product, but I mean, money's relative. A lot of people can throw around $600 or something and not even a blink of an eye. So, I don't know. Anyways, along with those 3 brass weights, you get an MX plate in your choice of aluminum polycarbonate, carbon, or stainless steel. You get a name and number plate. You get a PCB, an LZ bag, and a LZ USB mini D cable. So, no future USB-C here, folks.
Korea is supposed to be high tech. Come on, Korea.
Yeah, and you get a fully programmable PCB with all that standard PCB stuff. Colors: black, silver, gray. Super simple. Right.
And that's it for the news. But we're not done talking yet. We just got a lot to talk about. Before we talk about some more things, we do want to do a quick little break to thank those who help make the show possible. Special shout out, first of all, to Kono.store/input club. They're running that Intercheck for GMK Shoko. They got GMK Monochrome group buy going on right now. It's going to be ending pretty soon. Check that out when you get a chance. SA Royalty if you're looking for a nice SA set. And of course, SA Symbiosis and that giveaway. I believe it's still going on. So check it out. Check it out. I believe they may have limited stocks of Night Foxes and White Foxes available as well. So if you are interested in a decent 60% to lug around town, or your friend is, it's a good recommendation in my opinion for a lot of people who want just a decent board to be solid on. Sounds great with Sorbothane. # self-shill.
Self-shill, wow.
I'll have extras after the group buy.
You will?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, why are you shilling a group buy? It's already over.
I mean, statistically, not everyone will pay their invoice.
That's true as well. Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we have Zeal Generation at zealpc.net, where you can find all sorts of switches and the like. He's got a big revamp for his switches coming up for this this current round, or I guess next round, his V2, where he'll have completely updated Zelios, Silence, and the launch of the Helios, which is the silent linear that we're finally seeing. Top Clack will be getting samples of all the new stuff, so we will hopefully be able to break down really well for you how good and how we feel about these products. So look forward to that, because that's going to be really exciting.
I think it'd be real. This is really kind of random. Wouldn't maybe you may not know this, but people who may know K-pop, I think it'd be really funny if there's a Zeal parody for Zeal Generation, but of Girls' Generation. Just throwing that out there. Zeal Generation make you feel the heat. Okay, next. The people who know will know. That's it. On to our next wonderful sponsor, which is going to be Novel Keys, which just restocked on some of those awesome desk mats. Check that out when you get a chance. I'm probably going to pick up that gray Serica one if he still has it in stock. It just went back in stock today because he has extras. Check it out. He's got a ton of switches of different varieties. Got some extra of those Rama aluminum X's and O's from the Oasis buy. Oops Key Artisan in case you want to, erase mistakes. Check out all his goodies. A lot of switches. Novelias are shipping out. He does have extras available if you're interested in those, as well as the retooled box switches, as well as some cherry switches now available. Blacks, Silent Blacks just ran out, Silent Reds, and Speed Silvers. So check them out when you get the chance.
Yep, he actually still is doing the SA Violet on Cream group buy right now as well. And the Novelia's extras, very limited from what I hear. So if you want them, definitely get on them now, and make sure, regardless, use promo code TOPCLACK, 5% off entire order at Novel Keys. Yeah, buy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Buy things. Last but not least,
we've got Z Frontier, who is celebrating Chinese National Day, so they'll be back shipping on the 7th. We wish them a wonderful, wonderful week-long holiday. Hopefully they are enjoying their time, even though I know they're not, because we talked to one of them the other day, and he was actually at a factory working, based on the background noise.
He seemed very busy for it being a holiday. So pretty interesting stuff there. If
you're a designer, a group buy run, you're looking for a Chinese proxy, check Z Frontier out. GMK Coniferous Round 2. The Kira. They got the Chinese proxy for Symbiosis, Violet on Cream. It goes on, and I'm trying not to sneeze, but I'm going to sneeze. They still have JTK Aqua in stock, as well as the SA Ashen and a few other JTK and Key Creative sets. Check them out when you get a chance, because if you're looking for a proxy, you're looking for a decent key set, they're going to be a good option. And if you're looking for a decent keyboard, they do run quite a few keyboards, and they have been up to date on their project updates. So, yeah, going to be looking forward to that.
Heck yes.
And who is last but not least on people we love, Brian?
That was everyone.
No, we have the people, the viewers.
We love them?
Oh!
Just kidding. Yeah, we love you guys. All you guys that donate and all you guys that sub. It really does. I know it's the most cliche thing ever for a content creator to say, but it honestly does help a surprising amount. So thank you guys all so much. Sweaty Yeti for all those bits. I saw you earlier too. We appreciate that. That's awesome. You guys are fantastic. Of course, as usual, we will roll into a Q&A.
/ discussion.
/ discussion, which is totally fine. Also, Huey, check your phone and send me that code real quick, because I forgot to do something for the stream. So I'm signed into the wrong account.
I have no code.
Really?
It's supposed to be an email?
Text message.
Have not received it yet. I'll let you know when I do. Yes, I know what it's for.
How about now? Maybe that worked.
Captain Schwal, thank you so much. 13 months in a row with that tier 1, one of our OGs. Uber newbie, thank you so much for that Twitch Prime. Geo has the first question. Have I read the thread of retooled box switches still having issues and thoughts? I have read that, and I have talked with Mike. I have talked with a few other community members about the issue. So, the facts we can gather so far. Kale has lowered the thickness of their cross stems, or the cruciforms, to spec at the amount they said they would reduce it. I haven't heard any issues about cracking, but I've seen about stress marks, which still is an issue. I think it definitely needs more investigation. I'm not gonna defend or attack the box switches until we have more evidence. Mike did send me quite a few. I've measured them. I put them on Keep Talk. There's someone else in the community. I'm waiting for them to respond. He said he can measure them even more precisely than I can, to 3 digits. So I'm willing to send him a ton of switches to measure for me as well. I have a box of... I still need to do it. I need to screw it out so I can get this... A box of pin gauges. I know I showed this off a little ago, but I've been busy. These pin gauges are very, very small pins with measurements, and I can put these in keycaps to measure in the keycap that the cruciform receptacle to measure those as well, right? Because right now we're all measuring only one side of the equation. Okay, Brian, I can send you that number. That's what I've been reading on it. I think it definitely needs more attention on all sides. Because if it is still causing issues, that's bad. Honestly, that is bad. If it's still causing issues. So
yeah, it's a really strange scenario, and I feel really bad for people like Mike who are kind of pioneers of getting these box switches out to people, because if people are solving problems, he already he kind of got crushed a little bit by the last time people were having issues with him, and he probably lost a fair amount of money on that, and now they're supposedly fixed, and now a couple people are coming out and saying that they're still having issues. Like Huey said, I don't think there have been any reports at all of cracks yet, but there have been some people have been experiencing stress mark. So obviously still a bad kind of thing. We did talk a little bit with Mike about it, and he's still kind of up in the air about things. But he did say that he was able to replicate stress marks with Cherry MX clears as well.
I had talked to I talked to one other person who wasn't Mike who said they were able to replicate that same thing. So we'll see. I think it definitely takes more investigation, but everyone's known cherry clears have been tight. I think even I have stress marks from cherry clears. I just never care to say, because I don't think stress marks for me are the biggest deal. Cracks become the issue, I think. I just think it needs more investigation. I'm still worried about it, to be perfectly honest. Almost all of my keyboards with box switches I've already desoldered. If you guys have, before I took my little streaming hiatus because I'm waiting for this workbench, most of my streams were desoldering box switches, or a few of them were. I did most of it off stream actually, but I only have 2 keyboards with box switches left, which is my CA66 with the Jades, which did not do any cracks or stress marks on my KA 2017, and my Chewy 60 with Royals, and I haven't actually checked the DSA Galaxy on it. And I'm planning on replacing the Chewy 60 switches. So.
Alright. Sind, I think is how it's supposed to be, is saying, any way to dampen the downstroke / upstroke for box switches?
Lube.
Yeah, lube will pretty much always make anything quieter. when applied in the right places. Giggity. So that's probably where I'd start. As far as other silencing methods for box switches, I don't think there are really like anything. It's nothing really out in the wild right now. There's nothing like that you could buy that silences it normally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess. Yeah, I actually don't know.
Not many people are furthering that field at the moment. It's especially hard to justify it with the current happenings. So
Yeah, people are kind of focusing on other things with box at the moment since they're kind of a controversial product. So I think in the future there might be some kind of like equivalent, since we have so many things for Cherry MX switches that silence them, but for box switches it's still kind of a new beast. They're really not that old, all things considered. So probably have to wait a little bit longer before we get kind of like really interesting developments on silencing there. Maybe we'll even get Kale silent switches in the future. That could be a thing as well. Poner, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. 13 months in a row. You're also one of the longest running OGs. Very nice. Melodit is asking, if the rumors about Godspeed coming to MT3 are true, do you think we'll hear about it before Susuwatari closes? Personally, would probably skip Susuwatari if that ends up being announced.
they won't announce it before Susuwatari. If it is happening, they will not announce it before Susuwatari is over. They do not want to do anything that would possibly reduce the amount of sales for Susuwatari, like convincing people there's another set that's going to come out that they might want to buy instead. It'd be very uncharacteristic of them to do so.
Certainly. Yeah, that's just not gonna happen. Corbin Dallas with a non-keyboard question: cold versus hot, toasted sandwiches.
Depends what's inside.
Yeah. Sandwich is too vague a term.
Is a hot dog a sandwich? I'm not gonna get into this again, but
yes, everything is a sandwich. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I usually do like toasted sandwiches, literally, but yeah, like you said, depends on what's inside of it. Rumai asking, what other gasket mount boards are out there? Almost none.
Number one is shipping, supposedly, and the meme. And the 356.
Yeah, there may be other OTD boards that are gasket mount that I'm not sure of. Maybe if Invisibility's still here, he might be able to answer that. He's usually pretty good about the more vintage customs.
Yeah.
But yeah, gasket mount really not seeing a whole lot of popularity yet. Boards like the 356 Mini are very rare these days. You almost never see them, and if you can buy them, they're incredibly expensive aftermarket. The meme was a 10 group buy limited run private group buy, so like that's not really out to the public. Number one is kind of where we're going to see gasket mount actually start to really hit the community, because that went out to people that were just able to afford number one. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully we'll get to a little bit more on that. And of course the Staccato, the music themed board that Christmas Kane has been working on, that we talked about earlier, that's an IC. He has a prototype right now. I think it has a really, really cool method of gasket mount, and I think that could prove to have a ton of potential. So really hoping that works out for him, so we can just get more gasket mount. We really need more gasket mount. I think 2019 is going to be that year.
Oh.
Violet Viceroy with a pretty long wall of text here. What's the deal with all the custom TKLs that have been coming out over the past year or so? Unlike the 60/65% boards we've seen this year, which have shown a ton of variety in experimental or new form factors and materials, these TKLs are all fairly similar. What do you think is behind this trend, and is it here to stay?
TKLs have always been kind of popular. I mean, it's with most sizes. Sorry, words difficult. It's like in phases. Like for the last couple months before this, there's a lot of 60% running, right? And now there's going to be a lot of TKLs running. and for a little bit in between there's some 65%. It's always going to be like very cyclic, where now that enough people have gotten that nice TKL they've wanted, they're like, oh well, I need to get a 60% or I need to get a 65% to round out my collection. And then there's people who are going to be joining the hobby who get those and will be like, oh, I need a TKL to round my. So as the designs go, it's going to be always it's always going to be a constant of both, but sometimes it'll always feel like more of one than the other. I think it's just...
It seems like his question is more that the TKLs don't show the same range of variety of experimental or new form factors and materials, like apparently the 60 and 65% have been. That's something I haven't really been paying attention to, I guess. I haven't really thought about it that way.
If I had to do just a quick little Huey hypothesis... what a series name. Huey hypothesis. Would be TKL form factor is much more inspired by quote-unquote vintage or old school looks than a 60%. So people usually will want, like for example, if it's going to be windkeyless, having more of a traditional form, traditional factor, because there's kind of like that little almost, at least with a lot of people who are paid attention to older boards, almost like a little subconscious, like, you know, harkening back to the good old days, quote unquote, the good old days. Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of disagree. I think, not with you, with Violet Viceroy here. I think there has been a fairly big range of new stuff going on with TKLs. Look at stuff like the Elemento that launched earlier this year. Hasn't shipped yet, but Elemento was pretty different. You know, it had wireless Bluetooth or whatever. You know, it offered half plate. You know, look at some of the ICs that we've been talking about today. The what was the one that the TaiChi looks like absolutely ridiculous. It's like so unlike anything else. The Kira TKL, obviously that's kind of Thesis Camper's kind of is that kind of design, but that's like totally unlike any other TKL on the market. Oxalis is a little different as well. I think we're getting there. I think TKLs are definitely have a potential to have more design, but I think a lot of people that buy these really high-end TKLs, you know, they're usually more expensive, and the kind of people that buying them tend to prefer the more elegant kind of classic look and feel with a TKL. And you know, maybe since 60% are generally cheaper, they can get away with a little bit more experimenting without it becoming too expensive. Because a lot of these TKLs are $500-$600, but a lot of the 60% are like between $300 and $400. So pretty large price gap too. Can't do a ton of experimenting without ranging the price too high up, I think, at times.
I have a random quick question for Brian and everyone watching. My lighting is really bad, so you guys not see this really well. What would you do with a GMK cyan on yellow escape key?
I would hold it in my hand and not be able to see the contrast.
Yeah, or a yellow on magenta escape key.
That's pretty hot. Put that on my beam.
The rest of them look pretty normal. I guess the only other really weird one is this Christmas themed green on red escape key, which looks really horrible in this camera. What do I do with these? At least I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. I forgot to cover this in the mail call, but yeah, I got 14 GMK escape keys in today. So I'm ready for that great escape.
Great escape.
What?
Speaking of Great Escape, Rumai donates 100 bits. Thank you very much for that. You the real MVP.
Thank you.
Blind Assassin 111 is asking, have you measured the new box switch thickness? Curious because it affects my Nexus sliders as well, and it worries me because my spec is close to the retool.
I have, and so I have a few others. I posted on Keeb Talk. I will post the top. I'll post where I posted my measurementorinos. I think someone else did post it as well, but I will link mine. I only got a handful from Mike. There it is, right there. I measured 7 retooled Jades, 9 retooled Royals, and 7 retooled Navies. I probably should have been responsible and just put the averages and medians but it's pretty obvious to tell what they are from those measurements. I don't have more precise measurements. Yeah. I wish I did. I also need to take measurements of more GMK keycaps, both the ones I have that are cracked, ones I have that are stressed, and the ones I have that aren't of either. So, pin gauges. I spent money on them. I should use them.
The YouTube chat is actually asking for a link to presumably what you just posted. I'll share that though.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have YouTube open right now.
I do. I'm trying to keep up with it. There's not a whole lot of talking there, but there are still some people there. People there talking. There you go. There's a link for that, guys. Right. Actually, that's all the questions we've had so far. Not very inquisitive audience today, which is totally fine.
This is because
we rambled for a while on the news. We had a lot of news and a lot of.
It's because we're obviously it's because we're so thorough, buddy.
That is true. Good way to look at it.
Lunar Sam was asking, do we have any other hobbies besides keyboards?
Go
for it, Brian.
For me, I do, but it's not even remotely close to the same degree.
I think that's okay. I think that's what they want to know. Like, they want to know who is the man under that shirt, under that beard, beneath the chest hair.
There's another beard. There's actually a double chin. That's why I have a beard. It hides the double chin. Pro tip, guys that are overweight. Anyways, yeah. So I mean, I watch anime. I play video games. I'm starting to get back into poker. I used to be really, really into poker. I actually for at least like I think almost a year I played professionally. I mean, I played like semi-professional. I basically didn't work outside of playing poker for almost a year. And it was really awesome. And I'm trying to like get back in there and kind of get my rhythm back. And that's pretty much it for me. I like to cook sometimes. I'm really into food. Big surprise.
But, I get it. Big surprise.
I knew you'd get that. So yeah, certainly. I love to cook and eat, and I watch a lot of food programs, both on YouTube and the like. So there is that. What about you, Huey?
Hobbies outside of keyboards or other hobbies in general. I mean, I like anime just like Brian. We watch quite a different animes, but I do like to watch quite a bit of anime. I like to ride two-wheeled vehicles, whether it's my motorcycle or my bicycle. I don't know if you guys have seen. I've posted every now and then pictures of when I ride my bicycle. I put Giorgio, my dog, in my backpack, and he put his head on top of mine, and I'm riding, and he gets to experience the wind in the world. I've recently got into tinkering with small electronics. I made this little jog dial myself for Program to Pro Micro. Did all the drilling and stuff for when I want to scroll through footage, or if I want to scroll up and down. It's mostly I don't really have that many hobbies. Just mostly those kind of things, but those are all pricey. Anyone who's into cycling knows that can get pricey. Anyone knows who's into motorcycles knows that can get pricey. So. That's most of my hobbies,
most hobbies are pricey.
And I guess I count this. I always forget to count this because I always include it into keyboards. But one of my big passions is cinematography and videography. I just love taking videos more than I don't actually care about pictures. I love taking videos because for me, motion is a really amazing thing. Those are my main hobbies.
Oh yeah. Blind Assassin asking a follow-up question about his Nexus stems. Should I be worried at all?
Yeah, possibly. Inconclusive. But yes. Should you be worried? Well, possibly. I mean, I don't know if you should be get the garlic and cross out, but maybe there should be some alarm. There should be some concern about you should be, watching the research people do and watching the results and figuring things out.
Yeah, some level of worry probably. Should you be completely freaked out over it? No, probably not. If they're the same tolerances as the new retooled stuff, I mean, you're not going to be cracking keycaps, most likely. So
Most likely.
Yeah, most likely. I'm not going to make any promises, obviously. But from what it seems like so far, the new tolerance numbers are not cracking. They're not cracking cap. So yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. I mean, do you have prototypes of your Nexus sliders? Like, have you tried them on GMK caps, for instance, or anything else? Like, what have you done to try to test this? Because I'd be curious to know. The Sweaty Yeti donates even more bits. Thank you so much. You are going ham today, man. Holy crap.
I think his secret ploy is to catch up to Olivia, just ever so slowly, you know, crumb by crumb, and she won't notice it.
That's a pretty good strategy. Sind is asking, don't know if you discussed this before. What do you think of JTK Arctic? I have to look at that again. I'm pretty sure I liked it though. Okay, what?
So what do I remember? It's like the where just found it. I like it. No, I think it's fine. I think it's
yeah.
It's like Honeywell but blue legends for the alphas.
Like if Honeywell met Hydro.
Yeah,
kind of.
I'm okay with it, honestly.
Looks nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's very subtle. The snowflake novelty, if that's still a thing, love it. Cool. I dig that. At least that in this renderer, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. Polyzoo asking me if I'm a Phil Ivey fan. For those that aren't aware, Phil Ivey is a professional poker player, or at least I don't really follow professional poker as much as I used to. I don't know if he's still playing. I imagine he is. He won like multiple bracelets. Very, very accomplished poker pro. And yeah, seems like a pretty cool guy. I'm more of a Daniel Negreanu kind of guy. I think that guy has really fun personality, and he's also very smart. But I like a lot of pros. Tom Dwan, internet phenom, got his upstart. I think he's really cool as well. The Sweaty Yeti donates another 200 bits. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. Subnet asking what motorcycle.
Right now I'm riding an NC700X. Most of my riding I prefer is long distance riding. Usually I like just picking a road and riding it. Usually I ride up to the mountains a lot. Or I've ridden before to the SoCal meetups I host on my motorcycle and brought all my keyboards in the motorcycle. I've done that. I've done the same with NorCal meetups before. Rode up there in motorcycle. It's fun. I just like riding NC700. In the future, I'm probably gonna sell it. I'd consider actually a few bikes. I'm considering maybe in the next year or two after this NC700X. Haven't decided for sure yet. We'll see. Maybe for the George, I'll get a Ural, so I get the sidecar.
That would be so sick. That would be so sick. I would love to see pictures of Giorgio in that. NGB is asking, what cars do you drive, and what is your dream car, and why? I actually don't currently own a car. I had a kind of a piece of crap car that was just breaking down a lot, and I just didn't really have the money to keep fixing it, and so just getting rid of it made more sense. And most of the time I drive my girlfriend's car, which is like a 2015 Volkswagen Jetta. So that's usually what I'm driving if I am. Otherwise I just like Uber or something. Gotta start saving up for another car though. I want to get like an 07 or 08 Civic Si. That's like kind of what I'm working towards because it's not too expensive, but still nice and has some power there. My dream car, oh boy, I'm not really as into cars as I used to. Like when I was like a late teen, like I was really into like the Honda scene. I had like a Slam 91 Integra with like a bunch of work done to it. Oof. And like I was like that guy, and like all my friends were those guys, so that was kind of cool. But I like over the years I kind of just grew out of it. Honestly, dream car, I don't know. I really like the I think it was like the 2012's Mercedes C-Class. I think those are pretty nice. I really like the body on those. I really like the 04 Lancers. I really like the 99 WRX, like STI variants. I like AE86s. Those are pretty cool too. I don't know. I don't really have like an exact dream car. What about you, Huey? What do you drive, and what's your car?
Right now I'm kind of like you. I don't technically own a car, but my daily for is actually a work vehicle, which is a Nissan 2014 Nissan Frontier. People may not know I live in a pretty rural area, so having a pickup truck is extremely normal. Half of all cars here are actually pickup trucks, so cool. That's what I drive right now. When I'm not riding my motorcycle, drive Nissan Frontier, completely basic. Got no power windows. I'm rolling up my windows, actually rolling them up and down. No power lock, so like if I have a passenger, I have to reach over to the passenger door to unlock it for them.
Nice. Classic.
Yeah, right? Like, oh god, hold on, let me just reach over and open your door, babe. That's what I'm driving right now. I don't know if I actually care about saving up for a car at the moment, because motorcycles, I can ride a motorcycle in the rain. I'm not a pansy. I can ride in the rain. I don't really have a dream car. Like I get the nicer Miata with the Knots fabric hood with a hard top. Just because they're like the closest way to get to a motorcycle but still be in a car, because they're very nimble and flexible. But at that point, I care more about motorcycles. Yeah, so no real dream car, unfortunately. I get a nice Miata for a dream car, or like as the practical Huey, I just get a buffed Tacoma. That's all.
Tacoma's a nice truck.
Yeah.
All right. Blind Assassin following up says, I do have protos, but don't have any GMK at the moment. I mostly own vintage Alpsports, so not many cherry sets laying around. I only have /dev/TTY. It might be a good idea to invest in a cheap GMK set to try.
Or go to eBay. Go to eBay right now. They're still selling them. I got this 14 GMK escape keys. I think they're all round one, so it's not like super conclusive testing. But they all have should have the same cruciform. So if you want 14 GMK escape keys, they're on eBay. Look them up. For anyone who's interested in accent keys, they ship from Germany. So, as the slap chop guy once said, the Germans make good stuff. Did someone else say that?
How much were the caps though?
Not that much. Let me look up. They were $32 for 14 keycaps.
Yeah, so that's kind of a lot. Like you could get like a secondhand GMK set for like as low as like $90 to $100, depending on like as long as you don't care about colorway. Like, you know, round one Triumph Adler. I've seen Plum drop below $100 before. You just got to go after the less popular ones that people don't really care about. Yeah, it might be worth investing a little bit of money to get a cheap secondhand GMK set. Trying those out. That's what I would suggest. Brian, definitely not a car guy. Doesn't even know if it's a Jetta. It's a Jetta. I always forget if it's a Jetta or a Passat, because like that generation looks kind of, I don't know, pretty fun to drive though. Tectonic Plate 001 asking, any thoughts on what kind of materials can be used for gaskets? What would work well for keyboards? As far as like the actual like rubber or whatever you use for the gasket itself, I am not a materials expert and even start to claim to be. So I'm the wrong person to ask.
I may or may not have gotten quotes for sorbethane because they do advertise as a gasket material. But not really cool. But like in terms of like actual like industrial use gaskets, not like we're using it to seal a keyboard gasket. So
yeah.
And they do have a minimum thickness, which is pretty thick for what the gaskets I've seen. So I don't think it's actually that realistic unless you make a pretty beefy case, or depending on how the case integrates it for the cutouts. But
what I would suggest is talk to Christmas, because he's working on the Staccato, his gasket mount 60%, and he was talking about using like trying out multiple materials. So at this point in time, he's going to have a way better idea on what might be like a good potential like way better idea than us at the moment.
Oh,
My name was taken is saying my tofu HHKB came in, and it turns out they used like 0 solder on the hot swap ports, so they are literally falling off.
Yes,
being included in the pick.
Olivia had the same issue. 5 of hers broke off when she was putting switches in.
Wow.
Yeah, their factory sounds like they really messed up and put like, because the kale sockets are SMD soldered on, but they're really fat pads, right? So it takes a while to get the heat on to make sure there's enough solder to connect them, and most likely they did it so quick, like barely any solder went on, so they're barely even connected. So just
yeah, that's actually kind of a problem, because I mean, obviously for people like us, we just put it back on and solder it back on, and it's like not a big deal. But for a lot of people buying these hot swap boards,
they're
buying them because they don't have soldering equipment,
or they don't want to.
They're buying it, or they don't want to. Yeah, exactly. Like they buy them because they expect it to work.
Yeah. So
and, if this is actually like
hit up their customer support. Usually they've been pretty good historically, so they should.
Fans usually has very good support.
They should do pretty solid. Be right back while you look at the next question.
Totally fine. Yeah. But that's certainly a problem that needs to be addressed if that's having the issue. Subnet saying get more motorcycles. It's probably for Huey. Sweaty Yeti is asking, how do you explain to someone who does not know about custom keyboards if they ask why are you into keyboards? Do you give them a short explanation or a long explanation? I kind of have a habit of, if I'm talking to someone and it's obvious that they're not interested, I tailor my answer to that. Like, if they really don't give a shit about what I have to say and they don't care about keyboards and I'm not going to change their mind, then very, very short answers, because I don't like to waste time. If it actually does seem like they're interested in what I have to say and maybe the hobby of keyboards in general, then yeah, I'll talk as long as they're willing to listen. Usually, gotta preach the life of the keys, man. Usually I just hit people in the face with a keyboard. I'm like, bam, you're converted. I'm like a keyboard priest. Sind saying, can you recommend a good 60% PCB and plate to go with a keyboard Bell iconic case? Let me look up that case real quick. Keyboard Bell iconic case. All right, let me look up this case, because I've not seen one of these before.
Hello.
Oh, wait, I think I have, actually. Okay, so it's like a flat tray mount, 3D printed.
Oh, yeah, a keyboard Bell?
Keyboard Bell iconic, yeah. Actually has a pretty cool look. I'm not really a big fan of 3D printed cases, at least the ones that I've tried, but this is seemingly kind of interesting. Keyboard he wants a PCB and plate suggestion. Keyboard Bell iconic case. Well, it all depends on your budget restrictions, what you like in terms of feel and sound, or maybe you don't care. That's good information as well. That's where I would start. Because obviously this is like a 3D printed case. It's not very expensive. It looked like only about $40 or less to me. So maybe you can't or do not want to spend a whole lot of money on a PCB or plate. That's good information that we definitely need to answer those kind of questions. Lunar-sama saying you should pair that acrylic tofu with the KBD Fan's 60% polycarb plate. I did learn like last night they had a polycarb plate. I'm gonna buy one of those, sure. I mean, tray mount polycarbonate might not amount to much, but the fact that it's polycarbonate kind of interesting. I recall it not being very expensive, $19.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
Pretty inexpensive overall. Giorgio's been hitting the gym.
He's pretty buff.
He's a pretty buff looking dog, honestly.
He's half pit, so he's like just all that pit muscle. Like in some pictures, like when I hold him up, you see his chest. He's like he's ripped. He's a ripped dog. When he's like lays down, I can see like his forearm muscles.
Does he just like intimidate other dogs at the park? Oh man. Thoughts on the DD Millie PCB on KBD Fan?
None.
I always get the DD milli and the micro.
That's the 50%, right?
Also, yeah, the milli is 60%, the micro 50%.
Oh, okay.
DD milli is RGB 60% Bluetooth. Interesting. Yeah, I've seen this before, but I'm just kind of refreshing my memory on it. I have never used one, so I really can't comment on it, but it sounds cool. I mean, who wouldn't want 60% Bluetooth with RGB? $53 apparently. As long as it's good. Supports enough layout options, I would say. Yeah. I don't know. I'd probably want to try. Actually, I need to get a Bluetooth PCB for my couch surfer. And the maker of the couch surfer recommended that I either get the DD Milli or whatever the other Bluetooth PCB KPD.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty good bet.
That'd be cool to try. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. ADXLK asking Red Samurai versus GMK White on Black versus Modern Dolch for a black. Red Samurai, White on Black, Modern Dolch. I mean, I think any of those are going to work totally fine.
Yeah, they're all pretty good. I personally have Red Samurai on a blackboard in front of me right now on my X60. Lighting is bad, so you're not going to be able to get a good picture or view of it. But there it is. Illuminated by the wonderful light that is my monitor.
I'm actually a really big sucker for white on black cases. Like that all black aesthetic with just the white legends, I think is absolutely sublime and like timeless. So I would choose that. I think all those are going to be good though. I mean, modern Dolch looks great.
Oh yeah.
As well, so you're splitting hairs, but you're really not losing on any of these, so it doesn't really matter.
Yep.
Sin following up with his plate/PCB combo question and saying would be nice to keep it below $100 for the pair. Pretty easy to get a plate and a PCB tray mount for under $100 these days.
Yeah.
For a deeper sound signature. Okay, so you're probably going to want to rule out steel, which has kind of a tinny clack, which I personally like, but most people don't. So I'd avoid steel plate. I'd probably avoid brass as well. That's a little bit higher of a pitch. Probably either do aluminum or some kind of plastic. I think acrylic could work. I think palm could work. You'd have to get a custom plate done at that point, but it still wouldn't be very expensive. Hit me up on Discord after the show, sometime after the show, in our Discord. The official Discord links below the stream. PM me and all. I can talk about you, or talk about you. I can talk to you about that for a little bit, because I definitely have a lot of thoughts on it, but I'm not going to sit here and ramble about it on this right now.
Yeah.
We're actually going to wrap up here now that we're over the 2-hour mark. We try not to do that very well, or very often, I mean, because usually we just start to drop people. But some people like that stuff. But yes, we are going to be heading out here. Thank you all so much for watching. Sure you tune in next week, same time, same place. And of course, YouTube link below the stream, Discord link below the stream. Come join us, watch our content, talk to us about whatever, listen to this dog bark outside my window. All that good stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed yourselves.
Any upcoming build streams, Brian?
Build stream?
Or keyboard chores. Keyboard chores.
Nothing immediately. So I'm waiting for M60 to ship, which was supposed to ship the end of last month. So it's probably getting close. I got the Win-keyless Tofu that still has yet to ship to me. So those are the next 2 boards in queue that I'm kind of waiting on. So hopefully that will happen soon. Then I'll have something to do on stream. But other than that, I don't really have a ton of work to do until the upcoming Zeal products arrive to us. Then I can actually start rebuilding stuff. But other than that, I have basically nothing.
Cool. For those who want to follow what I'm going to be working on soon, I will have a build stream probably this weekend, maybe, depending on how organized I get that and ready for streaming. I got, the VEA clone, my acrylic one, to rebuild. Possibly going to do some dangerous modding, as in drill a hole through the bottom and relocate one of the far feet so it's tented instead of tilted. Yeah, I'm going to be doing that sometime this weekend probably, or doing some dangerous plate cutting things with my COD 67 to give it a normal fourth row.
You were telling me about that. A little scary.
I might just make a video instead of a live stream.
Some people like to see that kind of dangerous stuff.
And then for everyone who's been waiting for my CA66 review, that will be coming out very soon. I'm mostly done with editing it. I just keep going back to it and like finding things I will keep wanting to fix. It's overall taking a long time, just because I'm dumb and like, why did I make a 24-minute review? I don't know. I don't know how I found time to just talk about the CA66 for 24 minutes, but I did. But yeah, so keep in mind we got some other content going on, some streams and builds and stuff. We're going to be checking out Zeal Switches soon. Special thanks to everyone once again for watching. Thank you to our sponsors. Take care, guys.
If you want to be caught up on stuff.
Yes.
That's usually where stuff is posted first. So if you want to know what we're doing, what streams we're doing, stuff like that, Discord is the easiest place to find that. Below the stream. I cut my thumb cutting salami last night. It bled a lot.
Oof.
Not on my salami, thankfully.
Well, I hope everyone has a great salami.